Hello, I'm Quentin Cooper. I'm going to tell you a few remarkable things about a new remarkable web application, Threads, but I'm going to do it somewhere slightly quieter and more comfortable. Threads shares digital messages of all kinds among many users across a company or indeed any organisation. Messages are mainly emails and VoIP telephone calls, but in principle Threads can handle any kind of digital message, including Skype conversations, instant messages, even texts. So, how did Threads come together?
20 years ago, most companies kept all their records in filing cabinets. Although there were lots of disadvantages to filing this way, employees could at least see all third-party documents in one place. Then, along came the internet. Bit by bit, letters became emails, paper documents turned into PDFs, the physical became digital. But instead of ending up in one customer file, they mostly stayed in employee email accounts. Everyone fell into the same trap, even JPY themselves, but they decided to innovate a way round the problem, and this is what became Threads.
JPY employees exchange messages in many different ways, with Macs and PCs, tablets and mobile phones, whatever and whenever. Threads lets that continue and flourish and works with most common email systems. It doesn't stop with mail though. Soon after developing the first version of Threads, JPY realised it could be extended to handle any kind of digital message, including text, Skype and digital phone calls. That became an intrinsic part of the design, and this is how it works.
Any company or organisation that uses Threads can decide which people, which of its Threads users, can view its shared messages. To start with, someone from a subscribing company creates the Threads account details via a web browser. This will include information like billing, company name, address and users. Once the subscriber's Threads account's set up, the next step is to tell Threads where to get its messages. Every Threads account comes with its own mailbox, so the messages can be forwarded or dragged into this mailbox. Alternatively, Threads can also be authorised to automatically pick up mail from designated subscriber and user mailboxes. Here's how it looks using Gmail. What gives Threads an edge is it has a database of all the subscribers' contacts, customers, suppliers, the lot, and it's geared to pull together mail to or from known companies. This means correspondence from contacts who work for an unknown company is not shared, so Threads displays no personal email and no spam. Although not everything goes to everyone, nothing gets thrown away. This means if an employee receives email from an unknown contact, it's hidden until the contact becomes known. The same applies to phone calls.
So let's have a look at Threads in action, and in particular how it deals with someone like, say, me. Suppose I have my own company, Material Worlds, but I sometimes work for the BBC and sometimes I work for JPY. I have various phone numbers and email addresses depending which of these three hats I'm wearing at different times.
With Threads, I have just one contact record. I don't need to be listed as an employee 3 times over 3 separate companies. This makes the Threads database quite special. Most contact databases duplicate contacts, and this often causes problems. As a Threads user, I can search the Threads database for messages, companies, contacts and projects. Now the first 3 are self-explanatory. Projects, though, are used for any convenient and customizable grouping which is relevant to the individual Threads subscriber. A lawyer might have cases, a school courses and so on. A message can be associated with several projects at once. If I search any of these 4 categories, I get the records from related categories automatically. So, for example, if I search all JPY mail for the phrase planning permission, I can see there are 125 messages with 22 companies, 41 contacts and 1 project. I can rapidly move between the tabs looking at different perspectives of the same search. If I want to home in on a small selection, I can easily do that too. Trying the same though with a regular mail client is either painfully slow or in many situations simply not possible. A very powerful feature of Threads is its ability to hide messages that are not immediately relevant. Spam and other unsolicited messages often fall into this category. Let's see an example. Suppose I get an email from a contact that isn't known to Threads, an email like this.
Although I've seen the mail in my mailbox, at this stage it isn't visible to other users of Threads. My woman's intuition tells me it's probably a hoax, but just to be sure, I phoned Dave Fox at JPY to ask him to investigate for me.
Listen, I've got to be quick. I've been contacted out of the red, white and blue by a B. Obama at the White House and asked to give a presentation. It can't be for real, can it?
Dave later emails me, having done some checking.
Good news. I then add the White House and Brian Obama to the Threads database and respond to the email. I also create a new project for this correspondence and tag the relevant messages. In fact, Threads can do this automatically, but we won't go into that right now. If I now search Threads for mail involving the White House, I see even the email sent before the White House became a known company. I also see the phone call, which I can listen to again, as can every user at JPY.
Hello?
Hi, Dave, it's Quentin.
Hi, Quentin, how are you?
I'm fine, but listen, I've got to be quick. Some people might be thinking they've already got a database, so why have two? And a few may be concerned that all mail is stored, even if it can't be viewed until a company or contact is added. There's much more to Threads, including mechanisms both to synchronize it with any existing database and to prevent any confidential mail from being seen. But I hope that's enough to hint at its enormous potential. Because businesses have got used to locking away all our data in individual employee mailboxes, it's hard to realize the gains to be made by mining, refining and combining all that isolated digital data. It's also liberating not having to CC everyone, realizing that everything's automatically backed up, and being able to go back and listen to a call because you can't read the notes you scribbled down at the time. But the real beauty is this binds together multiple strands of communication in real time with a contact, a company or a project, no matter who sent or received them. Threads weaves all your company's messages together, helping ensure it's unrivaled, not unraveled.